Healthcare costs, particularly the cost that Americans pay themselves, is one of the top domestic policy issues. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, from management or labor, every stakeholder seems to agree that we are spending too much money in America on healthcare because we're not delivering in terms of individual and population health. So as pressures come from all sides to reduce healthcare expenditures, there is really an interest to buy less of everything and lower the price of everything. And as a physician, I did not go to medical school to learn how to save people money. I went to medical school to learn how to make people healthier and improve their well-being. So I tie my clinical training with what I do as a researcher to come up with an alternative to, say, cutting everything to possibly preserve the health of Americans as we deal with the very important aspect of healthcare cost containment. So we try to change the conversation from how much we spend to how well we spend. And as we move out of this idea of using the sledgehammers to cut costs, we developed a concept called value-based insurance design, or VBID, which uses a scalpel to decide how we spend our money. So instead of just saying less of everything, cut costs on everything, how about an idea of doing more of the things we should be doing to make Americans healthier? Screenings, preventive care, management of chronic diseases, and instead spend less money on those things where the evidence is not so strong, where things are happening for incentives that are out of control and perhaps not making Americans any healthier. So these typical insurance products that people pay their out-of-pocket cost based on price are much different than value-based insurance design, or VBID, which is a concept developed at the University of Michigan, where we basically said, change the paradigm to basing the out-of-pocket cost based on price to setting the out-of-pocket cost for patients based on the amount of health that would be produced. So instead of now, where cheap things are cheap to patients, under value-based insurance design, or VBID, the things that are most important to the health of my patients, the things I beg them to do because I know how important it is to their well-being, those are the things that should be low cost to them. So the implementation of value-based insurance design, or VBID, has been a very slow and steady process. We first went and worked with large self-insured companies, ones that you've heard of, like Marriott or Dell, and talked to their leadership and said, you're really not getting the health that you should be getting out of your millions or sometimes billions of dollars of healthcare expenditures. And saying, I think it would be more important to encourage, not discourage, your employees and beneficiaries for getting the care they need. So we made a lot of headway in both public and private payers.